Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about solving equations using addition or subtraction. Okay, so equations can be true for some values and not true for others, as you'll see in just a couple minutes. So a solution of an equation is a value that makes the equation true. It makes both sides of the equal sign equal. So if we look here, let x plus 3 equals 7. If x equals 3, is that a solution to the equation? So here's what I do, is I take the 3 and I substitute it in here and I get 3 plus 3 equals 7. And that means that 6 is equal to 7. And we know that's not true, so we write this. We write this little arrow like this. That means implies. Okay, so this implies 3 is not a solution. And you're done. Okay, so that was pretty easy. And you can probably tell looking at it, hey, that's not true, that if x plus 3 is 7, then x is 4. You can do that in your head. Okay, so here's another one. Please tell whether the given value is a solution to the equation. So p plus 10 is 38. So on this one, I would take p is 18. I would plug it in here. 18 plus 10 is 38. Well, that's 28. 28 is not equal to 38. So again, this implies 18 is not a solution. And you don't just get to write yes or no on your homework assignment for this. You got to work it out and show your work just like I just did. Okay, so 4 times y is 56, y is 14. Okay, so we're going to take 14. We're going to plug it in here. 4 times 14 should equal 56. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. Carry my 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So this says 56 equals 56. That's a true statement. This implies 14 is a solution. And you're done. Okay, so now you're going to do these. Couple of problems for you here. Okay, a plus 6 is 17. Let a equal 11. Is that a solution? 9 minus g is 5. G is 3. Is that a solution? So I'll give you a minute, pause the video, do these two problems, then jump back on here and see how you did. Okay, so this one I'm going to take 11. I'm going to substitute it in here. 11 plus 6 is 17. 17 equals 17. That implies 11 is a solution. So hopefully you got that. Over here on this one, we're going to go ahead and take 3, substitute it in here for g, so 9 minus 3 is 5. Oops, that doesn't look good, does it? Well, 9 minus 3 is 6. That's not equal to 5, so this implies 3 is not a solution. And we're done. So hopefully that's what you got for both of those. Okay, the addition property of equality, this is a super important equation right here, or theorem right here. When you add the same number to both sides of an equation, then the two sides remain equal. Okay, so here we got a couple of examples. 8 equals 8. Well, that's obvious, okay? But I just want to show you that if 8 equals 8, if I add the same thing, so let's say I add 4 to both sides of this, okay? 8 plus 4 is 12, and 8 plus 4 is 12. It's still equal, okay? So what we use it for is more for things like this. X minus 4 is 5, okay? So if I want to know what x is, and I know that I've got a minus 4 here, what I can do is I can add 4 to both sides of this equation. Now, x minus 4 plus 4, minus 4 and plus 4 is just 0, so this is just x over here now. and 5 plus 4 is 9. These two sides are still equal. We know that from the addition property of equality. And so x is 9, and that's our answer. Okay, there's also a subtraction property of equality. If you subtract the same number on both sides of an equation, then the two sides remain equal. Okay, so 8 equals 8. This time, if I subtract, let's say I subtract 5 from both sides of this thing, I get 3 equals 3. Still equal. Okay, now over here, look at the difference. This was x minus 4. I used the addition property of equality. This one's x plus 4. I'm going to use the subtraction property of equality. I'm going to subtract 4 because I want the 4 minus the 4. I want that to cancel out and go away. So I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides, and I get x equals 1. 1 is the solution to that equation. Okay, solve this equation. So x minus 2 is 6. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you pause the video, give this one a try, and then jump back on here real quick and see if you got it right. So, if I was going to do this one, I would add 2 to both sides of this equation, and I would get x equals 8. And I can always check it. If I'm not sure, I can take 8 and I can put it in for x. 8 minus 2 is 6. That works. So that's my check. Here's another one. 18 equals x minus 7. Now the only difference here is the x minus 7 is on the right side instead of the left side. Some people, that really bugs them. I'm one of them. I don't like equations like that. So you can rewrite it like this if it bothers you. That's the same thing. Okay, now I would add 7 to both sides here, and I get x equals 25. Okay, so here's a few for you to do for yourself. So pause the video, do these 3 problems, then jump back on here and see if you got them right. Okay, so k minus 3 equals 1. So on this one I should have added 3 to both sides. And I'm going to get k equals 1 plus 3 is 4. There's my solution to the equation. K is 4. On this one, I would add 10 to both sides of the equation. So n is going to be 4 plus 10 is 14. And on this last one, r minus 6 is 15, so I would add 6 to both sides of this equation, and I would get r is 21. Okay, piece of cake. Hopefully you got all 3 of those correct. All right, now in this one, the only difference between this and the last ones is the other ones were all x minus something. These are going to be x plus something. So instead of using the addition property of equality, I'm going to use the subtraction property of equality, and I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of this equation, because if I have x plus 2 and I want to get rid of plus 2, I subtract 2, and then these 2 make 0, and I get x on this side by itself, which is what I want, and this becomes 7. X is 7. Okay, you go ahead and pause the video and do this one. 26 is 11 plus x. Find the answer, then jump back on here and make sure you got it right. Okay, on this one I would subtract 11 from both sides. So this goes away over here. I'm just left with x equals, and this is 15. Side. So hopefully you got 15. All right, what do we got here? Your parents give you 20 bucks to help you find a new pair of shoes. After you buy the shoes, you have $5.50 left. Write and solve an equation to find out how much money you had before your parents gave you the $20. Okay, so here's the thing. You had a certain amount of money. We'll call it M for money. And your parents gave you 20 bucks. So we would add 20 bucks to that amount of money. Now, you spent some of that money on shoes. So there's the price of the shoes. It says, it's hard to read on there, it says $59.95. So we're going to subtract $59.95, and then you have $5.50 left over. So I had a certain amount of money, I added 20 bucks from my parents, I spent $59.95, and I have $5.50 left over. Okay, now, here's the thing. These two numbers here, I can combine those because they're on the same side. So, M, the amount of money that I had, 20 minus $59.95 is going to be minus $39.95 equals $5.50. Okay, now this is just like the other problems that I did, except that it's got a decimal in it. So I'm going to solve it by adding $39.95 to both sides of this equation. So this all goes away. I'm left with M. This becomes 5. That's 14. Carry my 1. That's going to be 15. Carry my 1. That's going to be 45. I had $45.45 of my own money before I started this. So now if I wanted to check and see if it was true, I could take this, plug it in here, 45 plus 20 would be 65 minus 95 should be $5.50 if I did it right. Okay, so that's 0. I'm going to borrow. That makes that 14 minus 9 is 5. And then this is 4. 64 minus 59 is $5.50. So it came out perfect. Okay, so you're going to get to do problems 1 through 49, the odd ones, on this lesson. And I look forward to seeing you guys in class.